Okay, don't mind my super frizzy dreads, but I just washed my hair, so it's all poofy. But I got an email from a viewer asking, he has new dreads that are only a few weeks old, so he was asking if there's anything special you have to do to the roots when your hair grows out, the hair between where you started your dreads and your scalp. So he was asking if there's anything you do to keep that dreaded. My answer is no. As your dread grows, it'll dread itself. The hair at the roots just naturally, the way it's growing, it'll keep knotting. Like, people always think that my dreads are coming undone because I have so much loose hair. They'll be like, oh, do you need to get your dreads redone, or how often do you have to get them redone at the roots, whatever. I'm like, oh, I don't do anything, because if you actually look at my dreads, they are dreaded. You should have hair about an inch from your scalp. If your dread is dreaded all the way to your scalp, there's going to be so much tension on your scalp that your dread can fall off. So you don't want that much tension. You don't want the constant pulling if it's dreaded all the way to your scalp. So mine, I can stick my finger through my root down here up to that point. It's only about an inch of loose hair on my dreads. That's how all of them are, and then this is solid dread from that point on. So that's how your dreads should be. Methods that people do use to work on their roots to help the whole process along. Some people do the clockwise rubbing. My hair's wet, so I'm not really going to do it because you don't want to do it on wet hair because your hair's weaker when it's wet. You can cause a lot of breakage. So do this when your hair's dry. But you just put it between your two fingers and you clockwise rub against your scalp like that. And that's just creating movement and friction and helping the knots along. So that's not anything necessary you need to do, but it does help them along, and you can do that in the beginning stages. What else? But with any maintenance methods, if you do overdo them, you are going to cause damage to your dreads. So just make sure if you're seeing breakage or it seems like you're getting weak spots, you're overdoing it. Don't do it too often. Other methods people do on their roots is called root flipping. I highly recommend against root flipping. I think it causes weak spots in your dreads and you should never do it. People think it's just like a really quick fix, and this is for people who think that their dreads need to be dreaded all the way to their scalp, which is not good, like I said, because of the tension on your scalp. But root flipping is basically where, like, I stuck my finger through my dread. Basically you would flip and put the end of your dread through that hole in your root, and that makes it tighter and all the way up to your scalp. But I recommend against doing that. So if you ever go to a salon or have a friend that thinks they know about dreadlocks and they want to help you with their dreads and they want to flip your roots, I would advise against it. So basically, my answer to the question, is there any root maintenance you need to do? No, I don't think there is anything that you need to do to keep your dread dreading as it grows. It'll dread itself as it grows out. The new growth will just lock itself up, because if you think about it, my dreads, when I back combed, were probably about this long. All of this hair has dreaded itself as it grew out. All of this. That's just natural dread. And the thing about it is, the part of my dread that has grown out and dreaded itself is very cylindrical, and they're really nice dreads. Like, the ends of my dreads are more bumpy and fat and lumpy and have like loops and all that stuff. Those were my beginning dreads. So as they grow out, see, like, I've got like bumps and loops, but then the part of my dread that's grown out on its own, it's very cylindrical, tight, and just a natural dread. Not back combed. So yeah, all this growth over 5 years has dreaded itself. I did very minimal root rubbing at the very beginning, like the first 6 months I had dreads, but I rarely did it, just to help the knots along, like I said. But other than that, no, there's nothing you need to do. You don't need to re-back comb ever. You don't need to do anything like that. That's my opinion on new growth in your dreadlocks. So I hope that helped you guys.